This video is on primes, squares, and cubes. First, we're going to talk about primes. Primes are numbers that are only divisible by 1 in itself. Or you can think of it as no other number will divide into that number evenly. A couple examples of primes are 2, 3, and 5. Let's see if we can find the next prime number. So to find prime numbers, we take the number we want to divide, or we want to see if it's prime, and divide it by all primes smaller than it, and see if any of those divide in evenly. So let's see if 6 is prime. So 6. Does 6 divide by 2? Well, yes, 6 is 3 times 2. So 6 is not prime because it is divisible by 2 and 3. Let's try the next number. Let's see if 7 is 7 prime. So first we'll try dividing 7 by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times, leaving me with a remainder of 1. So it doesn't divide by 2. Let's see, does it divide by 3? Because 3 is the next smallest. 3 goes into 7 twice with a remainder of 1. So it's not 3. Let's try 5. Does 7 divide by 5? 5 can go into 7 once with a remainder of 2. So we know it's not divisible by 5. It only goes in one time with a remainder. So we also know that there are no other prime numbers. This is the smallest prime, that the next smallest prime, and it does not divide in evenly. So 7 is also a prime. So let's try the next example 1. Example 1 is 8. Is 8 a prime number? Well, let's see. Does 8 divide by any other primes? So let's start with 2. Does 8 divide by 2? 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it does divide by something other than 1 in itself, so 8 is not prime. So is 8 a prime? No. I would now like you to pause the video and try practice 1 on your own. Okay, let's see how we did. So 9 is 9 prime. So start with 2. Does 9 divide by 2? Well, 2 goes into 9 4 times, leaving me with a remainder. Let's see if it divides by 3. Does 9 divide by 3? Yes. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 9 is also not a prime. Now let's talk about squares. So squares, or perfect square numbers, are just numbers found by multiplying a number by itself. So an example would be 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. So 4 is a square number, or a perfect square number is how you might also hear it called. You might also see it written as 2 with a little 2 up top. That little 2 up top is called an exponent. And the big 2 on the bottom would be a base number. The exponent just tells you how many times you're going to multiply the base by itself. So if I had 3 with a little 2 up there, that would say 3 squared. So the 2 means to multiply the number by itself 2 times. So in this case, the number is 3 because 3 is my base and 2 is my exponent. So 3 times 3. 3 squared means 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 is also a square number. It's a perfect square number. So let's try example number 2. What is 5 squared? 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, and 5 squared is 25. So the perfect square number is 25. I would like you to pause the video and try practice 2 on your own. Okay, so this says, what is 9 squared? Remember that little 2 up there means multiply a number by itself that many times. So 9 times 9, and 9 times 9 is 81. So 81 is the perfect square number. 9 squared is 81. Now we're going to talk about cubes. Cubes are just numbers found by multiplying a number by itself 3 times. Again, we might see it written as an exponent, so something like 2 cubed. Remember that little 3 up there tells me how many times I need to multiply that base number 2 by itself. So 2 cubed means I need 3 2s, so 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is 8. So 8 is called a cubed number. Now let's try example number 3. 4 cubed. So 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So 64 is a perfect cubed number. Now I'd like you to pause the video and try practice 3 on your own. Okay, this says, what is 3 cubed? So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 27 is 3 cubed. That is the end of the examples on primes, cubes, and squares. If you would like additional practice on these, please see the part 2 of 2 video for primes, squares, and cubes.